You ever just wake up and you kind of don't feel like yourself? Like there's really nothing happening specifically that's like leading you to just feel meh, but like you kind of do. Like it's not bad, but like it's not good in the same breath. Well, that's how I woke up feeling today on my birthday. Today's March 4th and I just turned 33. And I want to have an honest and open conversation with you about setting goals, having expectations, quantum leaping, and resistance. So, if you're new here, welcome, my loves. I am Coach Lakeisha. I am an embodiment coach who help women specifically feel more confident, more embodied in every single thing that they do in life. And I feel like normally when I say my little like who I am kind of speech, there is so much more confidence and just like power behind those words, and today I really wasn't feeling it, but I definitely won't be cropping that part out of this video because that's not who I am. Vulnerability and honesty is like very, very important to me and my brand, and I want to show the moments where I'm not just like bouncing off the walls and just like feeling super magnetic and things like that. So with that being said, today is my 33rd birthday, which is awesome. It's a Monday. I was born on a Monday. And if you guys are familiar with like astrology or anything like that, like Mondays are moon days. I'm a Pisces. So my feelings are just like, they're like simmering, right? And this feels like, I don't know what the number 33 represents, but I probably should Google that. But it kind of just feels like a full circle moment of just like reflection and things like that. But I was just like thinking, cause, when my birthday comes, I'm kind of always just like, okay, like, did we accomplish the things that we wanted to accomplish between last year and this year? And there's some things that I did not achieve, but there's just like one that stands out so much. And that's the fact that I do not have my driver's license. And like growing up in New York, just like as a backstory, like most New Yorkers like don't have a license unless you like went away to college or like you got into further into adulthood and you were just like, oh, I want a road trip and like I should know how to drive, like whatever. But like I got my permit at one point and was like learning how to drive, and that was like 3 years ago. And in the past, actually probably longer than that, it's been like 5 years, I think. Because my permit already expired, so it has to be longer than 3 years. But however long it's been, I still do not have my driver's license. And today I woke up feeling just like so restricted by the fact that I don't have it. I wanted to go on a hike. I also wanted to like go run errands. I wanted to go to Starbucks and like all of these things. And I don't want to have to keep just like coming in and out of my house. And I was like, oh, like if you had a car, you could have just like packed your car for the day and you would have been able to like run around and do whatever it is that you needed to do. But because you don't have that, literally you'll have to like pack a yoga mat and your laptop and like da da da. And I was just like, ugh. And I feel like my okay mood kind of just like went down. Right. And I was just like, wow, like it's something so simple. And I know all of you are probably going to be like watching this video like, oh my God, like I've had my license since I was like 17 and like I got my first car at 19. Like, oh my God, like it's not that hard, Lakeisha, like just go out there and do it. And it's wild because as simple as it is, I have not done it. Like I absolutely have driven a car before. The only thing that I actually had anxiety and was like uncomfortable with, which was driving on the freeway. And like obviously over time, I will get more comfortable with that. And despite the fact that there are people around me who can help me, I have the financial means in order for me to take a class. I have guys in my life who have offered to assist me and things like that. I absolutely have not gotten my license. I even went as far as letting my permit expire. And I was kind of just like sitting here with that, and I was just like, ugh, like you are just like falling deeper and deeper just into abyss. Like what is happening? And I was asking myself, and I was like, okay, if it wasn't a driver's license and it was like a money goal or a relationship goal or some kind of other goal that you set for yourself, how would you figure out why you have so much resistance? Because there's absolutely nothing standing in my way of me having my driver's license. Yet something so simple literally has me in a chokehold and doing absolutely nothing to move forward and making it happen. And I was just like, okay, like I am uncomfortable with change. And I feel like the conversation jumps. So like, this is how I'm just like working it out in my mind, right? And I'm like, the conversation jumps so quickly from like, you have a license, so like you got to get a car. And I was just like, okay, can I afford the type of car that I want? Can I afford the car, the insurance, like gas? Like people are always complaining about gas. If I have my license, does this mean that like everyone's gonna ask me to like drive places and like do all these things for them? Like, and my mind was just like going on like this spiral of like all of the effects of what happens of me having a driver's license. And I was like, oh, like I'm absolutely experiencing tons of resistance around me having this thing. So as a way to keep me safe, as a way to keep me comfortable and not feeling like, oh my God, like I have to do all these things that I don't want to do because it's what's supposed to happen next. I'm just not going to get a license. And then I won't really have to explain why I don't want to drive, why I don't want to go on this road trip, or like all of these other things, right? So, and I was just like, wow, like I didn't realize that I had so much just beliefs, right? And just like energy and so much resistance around this one simple like life thing, right? Where, and it's wild because like a driver's license offers you so much freedom, and literally like I'm the queen of freedom and just wanting to be able to like run and like escape and do what I want to do. But also the very idea of having that type of freedom scares me, right? And I want to teach you guys how to have those same kind of conversations with you so that you can fully surrender and identifying what those blocks are so you can move forward. And it's so comical. I pulled a card from my surrender deck, and the card that came out was surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. And it says, letting go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in life. And I was just like, pew, so on brand, so on point for this birthday and everything that I'm experiencing right now. And I'm sure some of you can even relate, right? Like we're in our 3rd month into the year. Spring is about to be here. There were goals, there were resolutions and things that you have set. And you're probably just like, what the fuck? Like, I really want these things, but for some reason, I can't find the discipline. I can't be consistent. It's not happening. Literally to the point where like my stomach was hurting the other day, and I was like, oh, like every time I think about like this goal, like I have so much resistance, and it's so wild. It's so freaking simple. And the same thing with you, whether it's you making your first $1,000 in your business or your first $100,000, right? Like it doesn't make sense why there is this resistance, because it's something that you truly, really desire, that it kind of gets you to a point where you're just like, oh my God, am I not good enough? Like, is it never going to happen? Is it not meant to be? Like, what the hell is going on? And it's because of our subconscious mind. So let me explain this to you without getting too sciencey. You see how like I get super excited about this part where like I'm sitting up, but like the beginning of the conversation, I was just like, woe is me. Anyway, so when it comes down to the mind, right? There are 2 specific parts of the mind that we're going to talk about today. The conscious and the subconscious. So our conscious is kind of the mind that literally is just, oh my God, now I'm just like getting in my head about things. Okay. I am very knowledgeable on all of these things, and I will not be nervous. Okay. So our subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of our functions, of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. So when we are younger, our subconscious mind is literally wide open from the ages of 0 to 7 years old. That's when you're learning to say your alphabet. That's when you're learning your name, how to write, how to brush your teeth, all of these things. And your subconscious mind is just absorbing all of these things. That now, at the age that you are, whatever that may be, you don't actually think about how to spell your name, the ABCs, how to brush your teeth. It is just something that happens automatically. So our subconscious mind is responsible for those automatic things that happen, right? So think about your drive to work. You don't necessarily, especially if you've been working there for like a year plus. You're not thinking about the route to go to work. It's just something that automatically happens. And unless there is like an accident or like a road detour or something like that, you're probably just like in your mind and just tunnel vision. And it isn't until something actually happens, like an accident near you or like that detour, where you're just like, oh, okay, I'm on this street right now. Okay, cool. And you're paying attention. You ever have those moments where you're just like, oh my God, like, I don't know how I got home, but like, I just got home, right? And it's because it's something that you do all the time. It's something that is a part of your subconscious mind that literally you can turn your brain off and do it without actually having to think about it. So when we set goals and we set, new desires, and we have this like creative energy and passion just like running through us, our subconscious mind is just like, is this something that we're familiar with? Is this something that's safe? Is this something that is going to change our patterns? Is this something that is going to change our day-to-day reality? Because we like to be safe, comfortable, and familiar. So if it's something outside of those realms, our subconscious mind is gonna kick in. And when you set the goal, right? Let's say it's to start creating more content, right? The subconscious mind is going to go, this is not familiar. We've never done anything like this. People are going to judge us. This makes me uncomfortable. So you're going to get on camera and you're going to have the stage fright, or all of a sudden you're going to feel like you have no idea what you're going to talk about. And all of these things, right, are going to just start coming up. All of these excuses are going to start rising to the surface because it's unfamiliar. It doesn't feel safe. So what our job is, right, with our conscious mind is to tap out of our subconscious and into our conscious mind, right? And allow ourselves to be in a space where we begin to feel safe, comfortable, and familiar in things that are different, because change is required, right? In order to up level, in order to quantum leap, in order to have a new reality, in order to manifest and live a life of your wildest dreams, change is inevitable. It has to happen. But in order for you to feel comfortable with that, in order for you to let go of the excuses, the limiting beliefs, and that mental resistance, you have to get your subconscious mind on board. And you can do that by, one, identifying what limiting beliefs that you actually have. So one of the things that I don't necessarily do them anymore, because I can just like do them flying off the shit, sitting in my mirror or whatever, or just like in the shower. But if you're just starting out, I would grab my journal and I would write out my goal at the top of the page in bold, right? And I'd be like, what limiting beliefs do I have around this thing? Or what ideas, or what do I think will be the result of me having this? Like, what's the bad thing that's going to happen if I had this? And I know you're just like, Lakeisha, like, what bad thing could happen if I have more followers, if I have more money in my bank account, if I'm in my dream relationship, all of these things. And it sounds so outlandish, but please stick with me. Just believe the things that I say. Believe the words that are coming out of my mouth, okay? So let's break it down. Let's talk about followers. Let's talk about engagement, right? You want to be an influencer. If you set a goal to have more followers and to become like this powerhouse influencer, what is something negative that could happen as a result of that? You can remember the time that you were in the 4th grade and you got on stage to do a speech and literally you froze and everyone laughed at you. And you literally wanted to hide in the locker for like the next 6 months. And there's this tightness in your chest that happens as a result of you thinking of that memory. So as a result of keeping you safe, you're not going to come up with creative ideas in order for you to create that content. Because your subconscious mind is equating you getting more followers to more eyes on you, to more judgment, to that panic attack, that nervous breakdown that you had in the 4th grade. And although you've learned so much and you have all of these great ideas, in order to keep you safe, literally there's going to be a visceral reaction to you wanting to go live. So you may drop your phone. You may break out in hives. You may like rip your shirt just before you're about to go on that video. There are going to be sometimes little or big reactions that happen as a result of you stepping out of your comfort zone. Also, let's talk about money. Let's say you want to manifest $1,000, right? $1,000 more than you already make. The idea that money is evil, or money doesn't grow on trees, or that you may be responsible for like taking care of family members, or people are always going to ask you to borrow money that they're never going to pay back. The idea that the more money you make, the more bills that you have, right? More money, more problems. So when you write out that goal, right? And you ask yourself, like, what limiting beliefs do I have around this goal? And then 2, what negative outcomes can come as a result of me having this goal? You're going to realize that things actually come up, that your brain actually formulate fears. And although it might sound illogical and wild as hell, it does not change the fact that it is very much a real experience. It is very much a real belief that you have to debunk, that you have to disprove, so that you can begin to feel safe and comfortable in this change, in this up level, in this quantum leap. Okay? Now, let's talk about romance, right? So many of my clients come to me and they're just like, I want love. I want love. And I'm just like, girl, are you really ready for love? Are you really ready to like be open and vulnerable with a partner about your feelings? Are you truly ready to like communicate with someone and be like, oh, hey, I'm about to go do this, this, and this. Like, you've been single for so long. And the idea of probably like having to tell your partner, not in like a possessive, controlling type of way, but just like in a communicative way, having to tell your partner like, oh, I'm getting ready to do X, Y, and Z. So like, I'll catch you later. Or like, feeling fears of like being cheated on, being abandoned. It may remind you of something that happened in your childhood, something that happened with your parents, or the experience that you've seen on TV or in your friendships or in your family. All of these things may be bubbling under the surface the exact moment that you set that goal. And now it's not to say that you aren't capable of achieving that goal, that you shouldn't have that goal, that you shouldn't want those things, but we need to bring awareness into that resistance, into those beliefs that are living underneath the surface. And once you begin to surrender to outdated beliefs, you will begin to trust. So the next card that I pulled for myself was surrender to trust. And it said, trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what you do or yourself, and take action and be confident that you are on the chosen right path. And it's like, these cards were so perfect. They were so in alignment with exactly what I'm feeling. And it led to this entire message that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So I can go on and talk about what to do after you do this activity, but I really want you to prioritize getting into that resistance, right? And figuring out what's happening in the subconscious. What underlying outdated beliefs are you holding on to? And once you do that, I want you to burn that piece of paper. I want you to burn it. I want you to let it go. And as you do that, I want you just to begin to tap on your chest, right? Our breastbone, right? When you tap on this area, right, there's something called the 3 thumbs. And when you tap on this area, literally you are sending a sensation throughout your entire body. You see all the time, like in movies, the warriors, they're always just like pumping on their chest and they're getting that blood flow. They're getting that adrenaline. They're allowing themselves to be into a different state of energy, right? I want you to begin to just tap. And it can be as light or as hard as you feel like you need, and begin to tap on this area. And I just want you to say, I release, I let go. And you're opening that heart and you're just like, heart, it's okay. It's okay. I release, I let go. I let go of the idea that it is not safe to have my desires. I release, I let go. The idea that it is not safe or comfortable for me to have my driver's license and to get a car. I release and I let go the idea that making more money is scary, or that I'm not going to be able to enjoy it or know how to manage it. I release and I let go the idea that I'm not worthy of a healthy partner, of a healthy, loving relationship. And just tap, and your arms are going to start to get tired, and you can take a break for a second if you need, and then come right back. And just allow yourself to shake once that's done. And then ground and just pause. And maybe put a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly. Closing the eyes. And just notice what's happening in the body. And then, when you open your eyes, you're going to feel like you're in another space. Like time has shifted, that it has moved forward. Because you've allowed something. Literally, I didn't even fully do the practice right now. And I feel lighter. And I don't know if you can tell, I feel like even my voice shifted, right? But there's going to be an energetic shift in you once you get that energy flowing, once you begin to remove those outdated beliefs, and your subconscious mind just like opens up, and it's just like, okay, tell me what's next. Tell me what we're going to do. Tell me what we want. And then anchor in exactly what it is that you want, and know that you get to have it, that you're worthy of it, and that it is safe for you to have it right here, right now. And I'm going to go do that. And I'm going to get off my ass and go enjoy my birthday. I'm going to take myself to brunch. And all the things that I want to do today that I would need a car for, I may not be able to do them today, but it doesn't mean that I can't do them. So I'm going to do the things that make me happy. And I love myself. I love you guys. I'm so proud of you for making it to the end of this video, for supporting me, for supporting yourself. And I really, really want you to do these activities and talk to me in the comments. Let me know what came up, how you feel, and what we're going to be doing moving forward. So again, I love myself. I love you. And I will catch you guys on the next one.